Welcome to Fearless Future Friday with a quote from Golda Meir. We have always said that in our war with the Arabs, we had a secret weapon. No alternative. That's probably an unpopular thought given what's going on right now in the Middle East. But two things. First, I picked this quote 6 months ago. Who knew what was going to happen then? But it's extremely applicable to you and I as we're writing our book. Give ourselves no alternative. It must happen. So I'll get to that in a moment, but first, my name is Christopher D'Armani. It is my pleasure, it is my passion, it is my purpose for doing all of these videos, for doing all of the stuff that I do, to empower aspiring Christian nonfiction writers to share their trauma to triumph journey using a complete, detailed roadmap for writing success. Because that is the ticket to the impact they know they want to make. That's the ticket to the impact they know they were born to make. And to Golda Meir's quote, give yourself no alternative but to write, finish, and publish your book. Set your deadline, your publication date deadline in stone. Do not move it no matter what. I don't care if you get sick. Keep writing. Doesn't matter what goes on in your life. Keep writing. Refuse to move that deadline. Because the second you kick it down the road once, you've now given yourself permission to do it again. And you'll do it again. I can say that because I'm guilty of doing exactly that. So make the simple decision. Quitting is not an option. Failure is not an option. Give yourself a penalty for quitting. Assign a penalty that you're flatly unwilling to pay. Make it whether it's a personal or a financial or whatever cost it needs to be that is so high, you absolutely refuse to pay it. But make the commitment that you will, should you make the mistake and say, well, I'm going to give up on this. I'm going to give up on me. I'm going to give up on my book. I'm going to give up on all those people who are out there waiting for my book. I'm going to give up on all of that. You have to set a really, really high cost to accepting that level of failure. And then once you've got all that in place, write fearlessly, write courageously, so you can make the impact that you know you were born to make. We're commanded throughout the Bible to be courageous, to be strong and courageous, to be unafraid. In Joshua 1:9, if you've watched any of my videos before, you know this is one of my favorite verses in the Bible for courage. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and of good courage. Do not be afraid nor be dismayed. For the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. How can you be fearful in light of that? I think it's impossible. And yet here we are on a Fearless Future Friday discussing the fact that maybe we're afraid. If you are, it's okay. I've been there too. Accept it, face it, thank it for showing up and saying, hey, yeah, this is actually really, very important. That's why I'm feeling fearful or why I'm feeling doubtful. And then embrace your courage, step up to the plate, and swing for the fences. Courage is not optional. It's a divine commandment from God. Quitting your book is not an option either. It really isn't. Make your published book a non-negotiable part of your life. Do whatever it takes to get it done, and keep doing whatever it takes to get that done, no matter what. So you may have to do some really, really insane things like, I don't know, schedule your writing sessions. Showing up for those writing sessions, whether you feel like it or not. You may need to actually do something even worse, at least in my world. Get up early. Get up really early and write. Or maybe it will require you to give up that favorite television show you like to binge watch. You have to give that thing up for a whole 30 days so you can get your first draft finished. I think you can afford that cost. I think we can all afford that cost. And here's another really helpful tip. Enroll your family and your friends in your dream of writing and publishing this book. Ask them to ask you every single day, hey, did you write today? And then answer them honestly. Ask them to hound you mercilessly if the answer is no. And also ask them to praise you every time the answer is yes. So with those sets of encouragements in place, writing should become fairly simple, fairly easy for you. And if all of that doesn't work, I've shared the example of the significance of this calendar before. For the purposes of today, I'll just say this.